Hello, my name is Aaron Sauter. I'm a writer for footballanalysis1.com. Cover the Cincinnati Bengals in the NFL and fantasy football. Also, I'm a writer for CFLNewsHub.com. I cover the Hamilton Tiger Cats and the CFL. Also, on Football Scientific, we cover the UFL, the NIL, the IFL, and the ELF, the European League of Football. Today, I'm joined by my guest host, Tyler the Tiger. It's fine. Finally back to the studio. Do everything at Football Scientific headquarters. I don't have to live in a suitcase anymore. Literally, I was stuck in a bag for multiple days, like 5 days. That was crazy. Why'd he stick me in a bag? That's not nice. I don't know why anyone would do that. That's unappealing. Okay, alright, never mind. Okay, so there's a lot of information to talk about from this last weekend, 4th of July weekend in the United States. But the CFL is not done for Week 5. They got a game tonight, Edmonton. I predict will be beating the Ottawa Red Blacks. Hopefully they'll put the Hamilton Tiger Cats in second place. If they do that, that'd be nice. Okay, and then also tomorrow night in the IFL, we have the Bay Area Panthers traveling to beat the San Diego Strike Force. So there's still some games going on there, so we're not going to do power rankings stuff. What we are going to do is review. It's going to be a pretty short video, probably. We are going to review the NFL news the last couple of days, news, rumors, whatever you want to call it. And then we're going to talk about the ELF, the European League of Football outcomes from this weekend. We were undefeated at our predictions, and we're going to reframe our power rankings. So that's the plan for today. So first in the NFL, Bengals wide receiver. Okay, Bengals wide receiver says that Kansas City quarterback Patrick Mahomes is basically without Travis Kelce is just Kirk Cousins with a headband. So, I mean, the Bengals, they only beat the Kansas City Chiefs once. They need to come out and beat them this year, whatever. But now we're talking trash about Patrick Mahomes. He's won multiple Super Bowls. Never won a Super Bowl. Oh, okay. Maybe we should shut our mouth and just play football. No offense, Jamar Chase. Love what you do on the field. But I think talking trash about teams that won bunches of Super Bowls and we won 0 probably sounds dumb. Okay, Pittsburgh Steelers defensive end TJ Watts. He says, hey man, I want an extension worth $40 million per year. He wants to be the highest paid non-football quarterback. He wants to be a Myles Garrett type player. He's pushing the same button Trey Hendrickson is. If Pittsburgh Steelers makes this deal, Trey Hendrickson gets paid too. Because how are you going to, if you're the Bengals, how are you going to say, well, you don't get paid that much, bro. You're too old. But then TJ Watts gets paid up by the Steelers when he's also old. So, I mean, they're in the same boat. So, if the Steelers paid T.J. Watts $40 million per year, I bet they pay Trey Hendrickson $40 million per year and give him the extension he wants. I mean, otherwise, you look like idiots. You look like you don't want to win. And that may be true. They may not want to win. We'll see. The Buffalo Bills, they said the door was open for negotiating running back James Cook before the start of the 2025 season. He's entering his last year of his contract. They have an option to pick him up. He wants an extension. He wants to get paid. He's carried away to the offense running game-wise, other than Josh Allen. Really, I'm not that impressed by James Cook. He's pretty good, but he's not. I wouldn't extend him right now. Former Steeler wide receiver Chase Claypool is looking to make a comeback. Last time he played for the Steelers and then got traded to the Bears, who used that draft capital to draft cornerback Joey Porter Jr. Okay, so Claypool was basically just a pawn in the Steelers game. He went to the Bears, which is, as we know, is a graveyard for players. Okay, Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescitt says, hey man, we're close to winning a Super Bowl. Okay, that's just random. Dak Prescott, we're close to winning a Super Bowl. I guess everyone is, really, if you think about it. They're one season away from winning a Super Bowl. Every team is. Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson. It does not look like he'll be playing much this year. If at all, he will not be on the field for the Cleveland Browns. But he's now acting as a mentor for Dylan Gabriel and Shadur Sanders. He's the highest paid mentor in the league. You could call him a quarterback coach. He'd be a $30 million quarterback coach. That's a waste of money. Miami Dolphins. Former Bills cornerback Russell Downton believes he's He's talking to Miami. He wants to go become a Dolphin. They need corner help after they got rid of Jalen Ramsey. This is so stupid. They got mad at Jalen Ramsey because he got mad about parking at the beach, at South Beach. They finally trade him to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And now they're like, well, we need a corner. And then people are like, well, we'll play corner. No, I go, oh, man. Now we got to get this crappy corner. I wish we had a good corner like Jalen Ramsey. What? What is going on? Carolina Panthers quarterback Andy Dalton, they're flopping for Arch. They're going to, take a dive, I believe. Carolina Panthers quarterback Andy Dalton has been a good helper to develop Bryce Young. He's been a quarterback coach, probably $14 million quarterback coach. I mean, you got to be good at something, I guess. Throwing interception to the Steelers is what he was best at, especially in the fourth quarter. Travis Kelce says the team says if Travis Hunter plays both ways like he claims he's going to do, that good teams will just run go routes all day on Travis Hunter and make him cover down the field. So when he plays offense, he'll be tired. I mean, that's a good point. That's a good point. You could just make him run down the field all day and it'd be awfully tired. And it'd be hard to play receiver. Good call, Travis Kelce. He went to Cincinnati, University of Cincinnati, so I mean he's pretty smart. Cleveland Browns edge rusher Myles Garrett. He's like, hey man, Joe Flacco is like the best quarterback we have. I just want to win. Although I wanted to leave. Although I wanted $40 million a year, like TJ Watt. Boom. Some people are saying Washington Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels has a real shot at getting MVP in the NFL this year. I'm one of those. I think they're going to they're in a win now mode. They're going to make a run for the Super Bowl, I believe. I think they're going to be what the Eagles were last year. That's how close Dallas is winning the Super Bowl. They're right next to the Eagles and the Washington Commanders. Eagles won the Super Bowl last year? Okay. Washington's going to win the Super Bowl this year? Okay. Dallas wins neither, but they're right next to them. Okay. Wide receiver Terry McLaurin is still not happy with his contract situation with the Commanders. That could become a problem, and he's just not. He wants an extension. Speaking of extensions, Dallas Cowboys edge rusher Michael Parsons is expected to continue to try to work out an extension with Dallas during training camp. Right now, here's how it's going. Mike is like, I would like an extension, and Dallas is like, who are you? What? He's like, I just want to get paid. And they're like, who are you? Do you work here? He's like, yeah, I'm Michael Parsons. They're like, oh, yeah. Get back to work. And he says it. He just goes back to work. Now, this could explain why Michael Parsons doesn't seem that with it. And why the Cowboys seem a little dreamy. Wide receiver KeVontae Turpin, who was a UFL star, moved on, he's in the USFL. He moved on to the Dallas Cowboys as a return man, then wide receiver. He was arrested this morning, for illegal marijuana and gun charges. Oh, it's the marijuana. That's why the Cowboys are looking at Michael Parsons like this. You want a chicken wing? He's like, yeah. And an extension. And they're like, what kind of sauce you want? He's like, hot sauce. Buffalo, I guess. Yeah. That's not an extension, bro. That's a chicken wing. He's like, I know. I know it's a chicken wing, Jerry Jones. What are we talking about? And he's like, I'm old, man. That's how the Cowboys are negotiating right now. I feel like that's how the Bengals negotiate too. Shamar Stewart's like, I just want to get guaranteed money. And they're like, what? And they're like, I just want to get my money. And don't make me void a contract if I get injured or something. And they're like, where's the water at? And Shamar Stewart's like, I think it's in the river. And they're like, the river? Is that the answer? That is the answer. It's in the river. But I don't know why they're doing it. They're just doing it to avoid conflict. Oh no, Tyler almost took out the show. I didn't do it. That wasn't me. He kicked the stand. He's blaming me. He stuffed me in a suitcase. 5 days. Next, the Elf, European League of Football. Yesterday, they had several games. Yesterday being Saturday, the Rhine Fire traveled to the Tirol Raiders in Austria, and as expected, Rhine Fire came out and threw the ball 363 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Pretty good game by Rhine Fire. 123 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. That's solid. They had 1 quarterback sack. Okay. Tirol Raiders, who I've been saying has been getting better each week, and they've made some moves recently. They threw for 155 passing yards. That's not very many compared to 363. 2 touchdowns and 0 receptions. They ran for 196 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 sacks. This just goes to prove. 120 rushing yards, 196. 363 passing yards, 155. What do you think the outcome of this game is? Well, it ended up being Tirol Raiders winning at home 35-18. This goes to show that inflated passing numbers are irrelevant at the professional level. Okay? Yeah, you got to pass the ball enough to protect your run game, honestly. But if you're just passing the ball, you're not going to win against the best teams. Okay? Rhine Fire's passing game was amazingly good. Got beat by Tirol Raiders. Okay? I've been there in life. I had to be an air raid coach. I had to be a run and shoot coach. I didn't have linemen. But we weren't very good. I've done my best when we can run the ball and then pass the ball to protect the run. RPOs. That's been the best look. And I'm willing to say that all the evidence shows that's true. When we go to the NFL, my predictions are there. That's when I'm really gonna, be making money. NFL predictions. Okay, that's where it's gonna be made. That's what's gonna be deal. So it's all about. All this spring football is about practice. It's about data analysis. It's about learning about the game at many different levels. Other than CFL. CFL is amazingly fun to watch. But the ELF, the IFL, the UFL, it's data collection. It's getting prepared. It's understanding the ins and outs of every level of football. The Tirol Raiders dominate the running game, and they win 35-18. Boom. Run the ball to win the game. You got to pass enough to protect the run, but you got to run the ball to win the game. Prague Lions traveled to Vienna Vikings. I thought this would be a wall hit by Prague. They threw the ball for 86 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Ouch, that sounds like a wall. They ran the ball for 61 rushing yards and 0 touchdowns. That sounds like a wall. They had 2 quarterback sacks. That's pretty good. Vienna Vikings had 317 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That's a wall. 168 rushing yards, no touchdowns, but they had 168 rushing yards. They destroyed the Prague Lions on the running game. They had 3 quarterback sacks. Who won this game? Vienna Vikings, 34-0. They're 6-1. Prague's 4-3. How do I know they're going to win? Because they outran them. They crushed them in the running game, man. That's how you win. Munich Ravens travel Madrid Bravos. In my mind, this is a playoff game. This is what the playoffs look like in the ELF. 2 playoff quality teams. Munich Ravens, not saying they're both going to make it, but these are what the quality playoff teams look like in the ELF. Munich Ravens, Madrid Bravos. Munich Ravens, they threw the ball for 264 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. They ran the ball 176 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns, no fumbles. They had 0 quarterback sacks, which is surprising. They tend to have a very strong defense. Madrid Bravos, probably the best passing unit in the ELF. 426 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Reed Sinnett, and Aaron Cruikshank doing their thing. 426 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. 71 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 quarterback sacks. So, Madrid looked impressive with their passing game. Munich ran the ball very well. Who wins the game? Munich, 43-40. Showing once again that being good at passing does not help you win games. It's just there. Everyone loves the passing game. Blah, 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 blah. It's just there to protect your running game, guys. You need a good passing game to protect your running game. You got to be able to do both equally well to win games at that top level. Okay? You can't just be a passing team. It doesn't work. Okay? On Sunday games, there's a bunch of Sunday games in the ELF this week. Cologne Centurions, 0-7. Traveled to the Wroclaw Panthers, who have been looking better every week, although they made a few odd moves. They got rid of Devin Burrell. What happens? Cologne Centurions, who have repeatedly said on social media that it's over, Rover. They're not very good. They threw for 115 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. That's not very good. They ran the ball for 36 rushing yards and 0 touchdowns. That's not very good. They had 1 quarterback sack. That's okay. Clone Centurions, though, not very good. Okay, Road Claw Panthers threw the ball for 163 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's much better. They ran the ball 270 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns. That's way better. And they got 3 quarterback sacks. That's 3 times better. What happened in this game? Road Claw Panthers win 54-2. They dominate the game. 270 rushing yards. You're going to win every time. You're going to win every time. Okay, 5 touchdowns in the running game. That's amazing. Cologne, it's over, Rover. Just finished the season. 54-2. They were this hype under Twitter that they did not get shut out. Favorite Enthroners, Stuttgart Surge. Boom. Enthroners are a better version of Cologne Centurions, meaning that they've been more competitive, but they're still over 0-6. Okay, Favorite Enthroners travel to Stuttgart. They threw for 271 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The 2 interceptions hurt, but 271 passing yards is pretty good. They ran the ball for 21 rushing yards, 0 touchdowns. They probably lost this game, you'd think. 21 rushing yards. Stuttgart Surge, a much better offense, 290 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not overwhelmingly great compared to Fairbairn Thorners, but here is a big number. 172 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns, 5 quarterback sacks. So the amazingly good running game, plus the 5 sacks, plus 2 interceptions, is all spells doom for Fairbairn Throners. And Stuttgart Surge beat them 55-12, going 4-2, and Fairbairn 0-6. Good. Paris Musketeers. We've been talking about their defense turning it up. They turned it way up. Paris Musketeers traveled to Helvetic Mercenaries, who made a bunch of changes in their roster and their coaching staff during their bye week. Their impromptu bye week when they refused to play the Nordic Storm. Kind of feels semi-pro-ish. They said too many injuries. Yeah, right. Paris Musketeers had 172 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions on the road, 242 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns. That's going to be tough to beat. Their defense has been awesome. 3 sacks. They continue to be awesome. Helvetic Mercenaries, without quarterback Isaiah Weed, they threw for 55 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. 36 rushing yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 sack. Turns out Isaiah Weed wasn't the reason they were losing. They're real bad. That's the reason they're losing. Paris Musketeers defense dominates, offense dominates, rushing game dominates. But Mercenaries, you're not very good. Nordic, I will help Helvetic Mercenaries or the Cologne Centurions. Call me up. Actually, email me. Message me here on Football Science, something like that. Get on my Twitter, AaronSauter7, and I'll be a consultant for you. Let's get this thing turned around. You have to pay me. I'm not going to come to Europe, but I do it from here, the Football Scientific Studios. Okay, last game in the Elf this week, Nordic Storm traveled to Hamburg Sea Devils. I mentioned I thought this game would be closer than you could expect. I said like 44-14. Which isn't that close, but I think Nordic Storm is capable of putting up 60 points on Hamburg. But Hamburg's been getting better every week. They made a change at quarterback. They brought Michael Leon back. They've been competitive with Michael Leon at quarterback. Okay? So what happened in this game? Nordic Storm on the road, threw for 296 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. They ran the ball for 118 rushing yards, no touchdowns. They had 1 quarterback sack. Hamburg Sea Devils threw for 221 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Not great, but not horrible. No turnovers. They did run the ball for 150 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. They didn't have 0 sacks. They did what they had to do to win the game. How did they lose? They just didn't do enough. They didn't score enough points. That's it. They lost 27-21 to Nordic Storm. Hamburg Sea Devils lost 27-21. They played a very good game. They couldn't score enough times. They did probably 1 passing touchdown to win that game. But they did what you have to do to win the game. They're getting better. That's against the best team in the league. It could be a threat. The fact they're 2-6 is a bad deal because it's going to be hard to get in the playoffs at 2-6. But I think they show a lot of improvement. Okay, Week 8 power rankings. First, Nordic Storm still on the top, 6-0, only undefeated team. I got them in the top, even though they did struggle Hamburg Sea Devils. I think it's more because Hamburg is getting better. Number 2, Vienna Vikings moved up back to number 2 at 6-1. They look very good. They got their running game back together. They look like they're a championship team. Could be Nordic Storm, Vienna Vikings in the championship, which would be similar to Ryan Fire and Vienna last week. Number 3, Munich Ravens, 6-1, looking like a legit playoff team, if not championship contender. I think they're just a notch below Nordic Storm and Vienna Vikings. I think they will be a division winner and a wild card team though. Number 4, Stuttgart Surge. They are the best of the rest. Okay, they're the best of the rest. 5-2. They've lost to the Ravens. They've lost to Paris in a shutout. Oddly enough, their worst game of the year. But consistently, they're better than the worst teams of the league. So, I mean, they're number 4. Maybe a wild card team. Number 5, Paris Musketeers are actually the winner. They're leader of that division right now with Stuttgart Surge in it, so they should be in number 4. But I think Stuttgart Surge is a more well-rounded team than Paris. Paris has a great defense and a good running offense. Their passing game does not fill me full of confidence. So I have them at 5, Paris Musketeers 5-2, and that's why I have them at 5 and not 4 rather than flipping Stuttgart Surge, because right now Paris would get the bye week. You don't get a bye week. No, they would get the top seed, so they get the home game. They would be playing each other. For sure, be a very good playoff game. Number 6, T-Roll Raiders back in the playoff hunt, crawling back into the playoff hunt. They're 5-3 now after having a bad start. They've made some adjustments. They got themselves back in the playoff picture going into the second half of the season. That's huge. It's huge. Madrid Bravos couldn't get it done against Munich. I thought they would struggle with Munich. I thought they'd be pretty close. It was very close. Madrid Bravos, the running game is not their strength, and they are number 7. Just outside the playoffs looking in. 4-3. Number 8, Wroclaw Panthers, 4-3. They seem to be getting better. They also play Cologne Centurions. Everyone looks good against Cologne Centurions. I put them ahead of the Ryan Fire because Ryan Fire lost this week. But the Ryan Fire played a much better team than Wroclaw did. So I was kind of on the fence. I initially put Ryan Fire at 8 and Wroclaw at 9. And I was like, Wroclaw will win this week. So let's move them up to 8. Ryan Fire at 9. We'll see how it plays out as the season goes. I do think Ryan Fire is better than Wroclaw, but not this week because of the Cologne Centurions. So number 8 is Wroclaw Panthers. In Poland, number 9 is Ryan Fire, defending back-to-back Elf champions. Not really. They lost other players. To the Nordic Storm, not surprisingly. Number 10, Prague Lions are 4-3. They hit that wall. They've been climbing. Started 0-2. They went 4 straight wins. They hit the wall. Boom. How do they respond from hitting the wall? That's what we're going to find out next week. Will they get back on a winning track? If they do, they got a chance to knock the T-Wolf Raiders out of that playoff spot and become the last playoff team. If they get destroyed or they don't win, then they'll fall back to Raiders, but where they usually are, which is the bottom of the half of the league. They're still technically in the bottom half, but they have a capability of getting to the playoffs, I believe. But they got to show it next week. You got to bounce back from a loss. Number 11, Frank. That's what playoff teams do. They bounce back from a loss. Frankfurt Galaxy 3-4. That's not. They're not looking good right now. They started out strong, but they've been wilting. Number 12, Hamburg Sea Devils. Very similar to Frankfurt. Started out strong, wilting. I think they're better with Michael Leon. They tried to put Talia Tagovailoa, and that was not the answer. They got rid of him real quick. Michael Leon's their dude, but they're just still not good. They're missing their running back. When they had Glenn too, they were making championship games all the time. But since then, they've not. It's the running back, guys. You got to get a running back. Number 13, Berlin Thunder, 2-5. They were started off 2-0. Since then, they've been pretty much flopping. Their run game is not good. They're trying to win as an air raid team. You can't do that in professional football. You got to be balanced. Number 14, Feyenoord and Throne. That's why the Bengals are not going to win a Super Bowl. Sorry, Bengals. That's why, because you want to be a pass-heavy team. You don't win Super Bowls doing that. You'll win some games, but you won't win Super Bowl. I don't know if you'll make the playoffs. I hope so. There's no guarantee that you're past every team. You won't beat the good teams. Number 14, Fairbar. If I know that, and I'm not a paid official from the Bengals, I should be a paid official from the Bengals. I should be getting a general manager look. We'll get that running game fixed. We'll win some games. We'll play some defense. I don't know. Number 14, pair of our Throners, 0-7. But competitive. That's why they're at 14 and not 16. Number 15, how about the Mercenaries? Ooh, they're slightly better than Cologne Centurions because they have a heartbeat. They have a pulse. Cologne Centurions seem dead, man. 0-7. 42 points this week. Avoided a shutout. Not good. Not good. So that's the ELF power rankings after week 8. Making playoff push. 6 weeks left in the season. Okay. It looks like it's a race to, I think if you get to 8 wins, you're probably in the playoffs. I can't guarantee that. That'd be 8-6. Probably not true. I think 10 wins. I think IFL is 10 wins. Say play 15 games. Elf plays 15, 14 games. I think it's 10 wins. Because only the top 6 make the playoffs. And the IFL, 8 out of 14 teams make the playoffs, more than half. And the ELF, 6 out of 16 make the playoffs. That's less than half. So you'd be a little bit better. I think 10 wins is the key. First into 10 wins makes the playoffs. Broad Lions, they're showing that they can do it. They have a pulse. So we'll see. All right. So that is Football Scientific for today. I've been Tyler the Tiger. Thanks for joining us. I'm not in the suitcase anymore. That's true. And I am Aaron Sauter. And remember, check out footballanalysis1.com for some cool NFL articles and fantasy football articles. Check out, we're way cheaper than the Athlon Sports Fantasy Draft, whatever, $15. All these magazines, NFL. You can get the same information on footballanalysis1.com for free. Tell you it's better. Probably better. Okay? We study this stuff all the time. Okay? I'm not saying we're better than Athlon people. I'm just saying they have teams fill out a questionnaire and send it to them and they put it together. That's how they do this. I've been a head coach before. These preview magazines, that's how they go about it, man. They have you fill out the questionnaire, you send it back, you write the article. They're just guessing, man. They're just going off your word and throwing some rankings on it. Footballanalysis1.com, we know what we're talking about. It's the real deal, and it's free. That's how you know it's the real deal. When it's free, you know it's the real deal. Okay? That's not always true, but it is true in this situation. And then CFL News Hub, I have a lot of Canadian supporters right now, and that's awesome. We'll keep it going with the CFL. Last night's game was amazingly good. I ended up being wrong because basically played with my heart. Then Montreal gave up a horrible play in the second half. In the fourth quarter, last drive, made some boneheaded moves and lost the game in a field goal, causing a big fight. We'll go over to the CFL games tomorrow after we figure out what Edmonton and Ottawa do tonight, but that was crazy. So hopefully we win tonight. Hopefully Edmonton wins. When we win, we'll at least a tie record. Remember, in the ELF, we spent the last 2 weekends being undefeated. So, it's very cyclical with these predictions. We're undefeated in the IFL for this week. It's very cyclical with these predictions, okay? Hopefully we'll get the algorithm worked out, and in NFL time we'll be getting them all right. Also, maybe looking at some college football stuff after this week. This week we'll be very busy with actual football. I'll be at camp, and will not be available to make the show. So tomorrow will be the last show before that. So hope it goes well. All right. Well, have a good night. This has been Football Scientific. Let's watch the CFL. The Edmonton beats the Ottawa Redblacks. Football Scientific. Portals closed.